Hey coin collectors, Dan the Collecting Man here. Today I've got an unboxing from Downies. So there's a whole heap of cool releases coming out of the Royal Australian Mint. So I thought let's have a look at it. Let's see how Downies package their products and have a look at all the fun things I was able to get out of Downies. So far so good. It looks like the packaging's not too bad. So let's start with this one. We'll go for and I'll just get all these out of the box so we can get the box out of view. All right, so let's have a look first. We've got a few different things here, so I want to go through these in a bit of detail and show you all the cool things that have come out of the Royal Australian Mint and a couple of little things out of the Perth Mint, because there's some really cool fun things to look through today. So I'm going to start with this one here because I think this one's going to be a really cool long-term classic coin to own, and I'm glad the packaging's not too bad. A little bit dinted, unfortunately, because they did shove it all in there, which is not something you want to see. So Downies is a place that I don't personally buy that much from, because often, especially on the secondary market, their prices are pretty ordinary. To be honest, you can buy a lot of stuff cheaper from eBay than you do from Downies. So that's just my personal opinion. But for this one, I knew if I went directly to the Royal Australian Mint, I was going to wait a lot longer. So unfortunately, these come in these plastic. So as much as they promised me that they're going to slowly improve it, so I've got a certificate number of 1767 of a mintage of 2025. So this was not cheap. This is the most expensive coin in this set at 675. Now with the gold value of time of filming around 5,200 to near 300, so that's $520 to $30 in gold value. So for a proof coin that has a very low mintage, that's still not too bad. So as much as you think that's an expensive coin, that's value is not too bad there. So I don't mind this one. I think this design looks pretty cool. It's very interesting to see it in the proof under the cement. I've also got the silver version on top of that, but this is a 1/10 ounce 3 ounce fine gold version, so that's definitely a nice little one to get. And like I said, a very low mintage of something that's relevant to the Royal Australian Mint. I think that's going to be really cool, having the 60th anniversary on that one. I think as much as it's expensive now, I think in the long term that will hold some collector value on that one. The next one, we've got this one here. This is the 4 coin set for the Royal Australian Mint. And I love how they got the actual design of the actual building. You can see some of the old cars, obviously back in the day. So this, obviously the Royal Australian Mint was open in 1965, and 66 is when it started producing our decimal currency. So let's have a look at this now. There's a lot of key reasons why I really like this. Is finally when they've done this packaging, they've actually done the background of this as well, which is really cool. You can definitely feel it's got a bit of weight to it too, so it feels like it's actually a better capsule design. So here we've got the 60th anniversary. So we've got 4 different coins here. So we've got this one here, the C Mintmark. So this is a Mintmark. And then you've got a Privymark of B for Brisbane, M for Melbourne, and S for Sydney. Now, I always found this a little bit odd, and I'd love to know in the comments below why you think they don't include places like Perth or Tasmania or places like that. Is it because they never had mints there and they're only including places that had mints in the past? Or is there any other reason why they've only done a couple of states and not all the other key states? So always been interesting to find out why they've done that. But nonetheless, I love this design and I think this is cool, and the packaging is really good. So I'm going to do a separate video on this series in the next week, because there's a PNC versions, there's special counter stamps with a 60 on it. There's all sorts of different additions to this, including the silver ones. So I think that's going to be a really cool collector's series to go through. So I'm going to go through all the ones that have been released to date and why I think it's a really good one to get. The next one, now this is a personal favorite for me. I think this is really cool. This is the 2025 coin set for the Aussie Bubs. And I love these designs on this one. So here we've got a nice little booklet coming with this one, which is pretty cool. So you can obviously put the name and the photo in there, and you can put yourself and the parents and a little bit of detail. And then we've got here the 2025 Aussie Bubs. So on the obverse here, we've got Royal Australian Mint 2025 uncirculated set. But on this side, this is where the packaging's gone off a bit. We don't have any detail on this side, which is a bit of a shame. And it's really hard to see the actual detail of the actual coins, unfortunately. So I might bring it up on the actual screen itself. But we've got the 5-cent coin here, the 10-cent, 20-cent, 50 cents, $1, which I think is an absolute keeper, and then the $2 coin. So it feels like these coins aren't set correctly in here, either that or they're set correctly and the card's not set correctly, so it's a bit offline, which is a bit of a shame. But I think this is pretty cool. But like I said, would have been cool if there was some imagery in the background, because then you can put it up in a child's room, but at the moment it's just the coins blank by themselves. So that's my personal feedback. So these ones retail around $55, so it's not cheap and it's unlimited what the mintage is going to be, but this is the first time we're seeing these coin designs, so I think they will be pretty cool to get. The next one is in this big box here. This is the Aussie Bubs 1 ounce silver. So having a look at this, the outer box, this does look pretty cool. I must admit, this box design comes up really nice. A mintage of 15,000 Aussie Bubs, and that does look pretty nice. The way the box actually comes and opens is like a magnet kind of finish. Here you can put the actual image of the baby in there, again with similar details, but it's very unique. And this one you can definitely stand up. And let's have a look at this. This is what I wanted to look at, is this coin. So I've got a beautiful quokka, which I love quokkas, so that's personally the reason why I got it. There's a quokka holding babies with a nice proof-like finish, and then we've got King Charles here on the obverse. So really nice design there. And for me, I love quokkas, and I thought this was really cool. So don't have any babies in the family. Also notice the magnet actually keeps it fully open as well, so it's got a good magnet system there. Very expensive though, so you're definitely paying a high premium for this one, and I think it'll become probably cheaper in the future, but $140 is definitely a high price to pay for it, given the silver, an ounce of silver is only about $50 odd, so you're paying nearly $90 odd just for this box set. But I think it's pretty cool, and definitely something worth getting. And like I said, I've added to the collection because I just love that design. I think it's going to be pretty cool. I love the way they've changed up the Aussie Bubs sets, and I'd love to know in the comments below what you personally think of it. The next one is one that I absolutely love, is this one here. This is from the ANDA Money Expo. This is the perthmint Koala, and I thought this is a really, really cool design. I love the colouring that they've put onto the coin, but then also the colouring they've put onto this envelope. It looks really, really nice. Very low mintage of only 2,500 of this one, so this is really, really cool. And then you got the silver bullion version here, so you can see the difference between the bullion version and the actual coloured version. It looks really cool. So I think this is, I'm wanting to collect all these ANDA ones from this year because I think they're definitely getting really cool, and they don't sell out straight away. So, but I do like this design, and I'd love to see what they're going to do at the next couple of ANDA versions with Perth and Hobart, Tasmania coming up this year. So I reckon they'll be definitely interesting to see what comes up out of those ones. And then the next one I got is this one here, and it looks like we've got a heads on this one. So this is a coin roll from the Royal Australian Mint. This is not the special premium edition, this is just a non-premium edition, but I don't mind getting heads because you can at least see what year it is. So 2025 heads. The only reason why I got this one is I just have a gut feeling that there might be some very low mintages on the 50-cent coins. So this is just a gut feeling for me. So I thought, you know what, I'll go and get myself, I don't want to get the whole coin set in the premium edition. I don't think that's going to be as collectible as getting the first year's one like last year. But I thought I'll give it a go and go for the 50-cent coin, and a bit of luck, if there's some low mintages on this one, I might get some bit of premium. So that was around $30. It definitely feels like it's loose in there. You can hear that noise there, but it's still pretty cool. So you can definitely see that the quality of the coins isn't as nice. So for an uncirculated condition one, look at that under the lighting. Unfortunately, the quality of these ones, especially that one there, that's pretty bad coming out of the Royal Australian Mint. I know it's uncirculated, and I know it's gone through the machines, but that's not great coming out of the mint in that condition, unfortunately. But they definitely has some good ones. So I think this one and the design is really, really good. Then I think Downies chucking this one for free as well. So this is 2018 World War One. We will remember kind of little token. I don't think it's silver or anything like that because you feel it feels pretty light. So it's this little token thing. Not really interested in that, but they give that for free. You can see it's got scuff marks and all that on it. But it's something a little bit different. So I'd love to know what one you think is the best. I'm going to do separate videos on the baby ones, and I'll do separate videos again on the 60th anniversary of the Royal Australian Mint, especially that because there is so many different extra coins with the P&Cs, the special mint marks, and counter stamps. There's some really good additions. So I think they're going to be real collectible this year. And then I'll also do a comparison video of the 60th anniversary of the Royal Australian Mint versus the 125th anniversary coins for the Perth Mint, because I think that'll be pretty interesting to see the difference in what the mints have produced for their special anniversaries over the last 2 years. So make sure you do give us a thumbs up if you enjoy the content and enjoyed what I've purchased and what you think of Downies yourself, and if you've ever purchased from Downies. I know they had a catalogue that's just come out recently that I got delivered, and definitely some pretty cool stuff in there. But like I said, sometimes I see some of these prices on the items, and I know you can definitely get cheaper. I mean, you look at this Sovereign set, 64,000. So definitely not cheap, but this is all the stuff that just got released out of the mint. So at least when they get released like this, they sell them for the same price as what you get from the Royal Australian Mint. One of the keys and reasons why I didn't get it directly from the Royal Australian Mint is it just takes so long for postage, and I'll be waiting probably for another month before I finally got delivery of them. So I wanted to make sure I at least got them some point after purchasing. So there is a link down below for a shout out for coffee if you want to do a shout out for the channel, for the work that I do. Make sure you do subscribe to Dan the Collecting Man to stay up to date and watch those future videos that I'm going to make specifically with a bit more detail on the coins that are being released. And as always, thanks so much for watching and joining the coin collecting community. I'll catch you in my next video. Dan.